Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mr. Stem and I would like to welcome everyone here for Invictus Racing League Formula 2 here, coming live from Bahrain International Circuit at Sakir in midnight conditions. So we're here for qualifying for round number 2 of the championship. And we already have a Ferrari of Wave Tell coming out on track to start his qualifying session, but he has a Toro Rosso right ahead of him. And let's run through this driver's standings as they were set in last week's Australian Grand Prix. So, as we have cars coming out on track, let's right on board with Wave Tell, who was seen, if I remember correctly, taking a podium in last night's Performance 2 League, and in the meantime he is here racing once again in Bahrain, but this time in Formula 2 Equal Car League, and he is driving the beautiful Scuderia Ferrari. So as I was saying, let's run through the driver standings for Formula 2. We have Betrayer leading the Drivers' Championship after last week's triumph in Australia, taking 12 points to his name. Then we have Humberstone finishing in second last week, and Just Kieran finishing third, rounding up the podium. Wave Tell finished fourth, Nick Thompson finished fifth, MJ Coop in P6, Alga 85 and P7, Aaron Spence in 8th, and then we have Alex Hallows, not starting last week, with Ben Musket, Fulcha, Huckenberger, Tony White and Jamie Met all DNFing in last week's Australian Grand Prix. So we had only 8 finishers last week. Hopefully we'll see a lot more finishers today, but here we go. Wave Tell is starting his flying lap here in Bahrain on the Red Bull Super Soft tyres. So let's see where that gets him. I'm pretty sure he'll be looking for at least a top 3 finish today after yesterday's phenomenal, as I would call it, finish yesterday in Performance 2 League, where, if I remember correctly, he got second. He definitely finished on the podium, but I think he finished second. Might be wrong on that, but nonetheless, he's here today on track. In the meantime, he is in Sector 2 now, through pretty slow second gear hairpin, could be taken in first gear as well, into turns 9 and 10, takes it pretty nicely actually, really well on the exit, open the DRS, using overtake mode on the ERS as he's in H gear, braking just before the 50-meter board, but going a bit wider on at the exit curbing, which you don't really want to do. Would want a better inside line exit, but here we go onto the back straight, as I would say, as it leads into the final corners of the track, braking in between the 50 and 100-meter board through the final corner, opening the DRS right here as he goes second with a 27.2, only 3/10 slower than Tony Y, who has been able to put on pole position, but I'm pretty sure Wave Tell has more in his lap to post. As let's ride on board with, we're right on board with Nick, as he does end up in a wall that's before turn 13. So going through turn 11 and 12, he managed to lose his car and end up backwards in the wall, as he is on the wide wall medium tire. So he's trying to qualify on the slowest combine of tire to possibly do a one-stop of medium to softs. Hulkenberger is still in the pits in his Renault. We have Benjamin in the pits as well. Ferrari LFC 10, who is finishing sector 1 now into turns 5 and 6. Pretty nice flow actually through the 5 and 6 apexes. Into turns, I can count as that was turn 8 there. Sorry, my bad. Into turns 9 and 10. He takes it really nicely in first gear as Rick now gets out of his way. Rick VR, in the meantime, on soft, being able to put it to a P4 position with a 28.6. We have Betrayer moving up to P2 as he won last week with a 27 flat just now. He has on the time board to his name. Pretty wide there on the exit of turn 11. No, turn 12, sorry. As that might have invalidated his lap time, but it doesn't seem to. He's still pushing. I'm pretty sure that was betrayal right there at the background we just seen. But in the meantime, Ferrari LFC, he pulls into the pits. So yes, he did invalidate his lap time. In fact, we have Jamie with 6.328 in the meantime on his flying lap, as he makes a mistake, to be honest, which will not benefit him. I hate the rev glitch, in all fairness, on this game. For turns 9 and 10, oh, not the best of entrances towards turn 10. Definitely late on the brakes at turn 9. He would probably want to brake just a bit earlier or do something to not make the same mistake, but real nice flow for turn 11 going into 12 and 13. Let's see how he does. He already just said this is his first lap on the medium tires. Let's see where that puts him. His target is to be at 28.9, which is currently the fastest time on the mediums, set by George Snipes 24. Jamie putting the fastest lap on the white wall medium tires of a 1 minute 28.754. What a lap time from Jamie that is. Clearing 2/10 of George Snipes. That is spectacular, as George's possible on his lap actually. So let's just stay on board with him as he's through turns 11 and 12 now. Going into 13. A bit wider at the exit on the curb and could definitely lost him a bit of time, guys. But let's see, can he improve? At least get close to Jamie, or can he in fact beat him? Let's see how that goes for him. Opens the DRS. And no, he does not improve. He does not improve. In the meantime, we have Nick Thompson in the Ferrari. Where does he go? Does he improve? Yes, he does. He shifts George Snipes and takes the middle spot of the medium runners. P6 for Nick and P2 for the medium runner. As Wave is right behind him as well. Ferrari LFC is getting ready for his lap, but there's a Ferrari of MJ Coupe right behind him who's on the medium tire, so everyone is going for different strategies today. MJ Coupe goes 9th overall and slowest on the medium, so a 29th lap, but he's not too far away from Jamie. Only 3/10 is the difference, so I'm pretty sure MJ Coupe can find those 3/10 in his lap. Maybe he will change towards soft towards the end of the session to put in a better lap time. We don't know. But Ferrari LFC real aggressive into turns 5 and 6. No, 6 and 7, sorry. In towards turn 8. In first gear, really nice on the exit as well. Really nice flow. In towards turn 9 and 10. This is a really heavy braking zone. You really do want to gear correctly to be able to maximize the exit for going down towards turn 11. And he does just that, but he does lose the traction a tiny bit. That will not benefit him for turns 11 and 12 into 13. That will be the sector 2 split, and he's now into the final sector of the track. Let's see how that goes out for him. As he's into the turn 14 now. For turn 15 as well, it's a really quick section of corners. You don't even know it's turn 15. But here he comes across the line that puts him into P4, and that is a 27.6. And he is 2/10 clear of Benjamin, who said at 27.8. And oh my goodness me, I just noticed MJ Coupe. Remember, I was talking about how I'm literally a few literally like a minute ago. As I said, he can definitely improve on his time, and there he goes, he improves by half a second. As Betrayer now pulls into the pits, we have Tony going into the pit as well, as we have 7.5 minutes of disqualifying remaining, as Hulkenberger has not yet still set a lap time. In the meantime, Alga has started their lap in the Zauber, and Raven sell 26.913 puts it on provisional pole position with over 7 minutes of the session remaining. In the meantime, we'll stay on board with the Zauber driver as for turn 7 and 8 down into towards turn 8. I lost count again. Down towards the heavy braking zone of turn 10. In all fairness, that is possibly one of the best corners in the calendar. Once you get it correctly, it's so rewarding and so much enjoyment to fly through. The whole track is amazing to drive overall once you get it correctly. You just feel how well the corners fit the track surface with long straights and heavy braking zones. It's absolute beauty of a track, especially with different tire strategies, as we're seeing just now with MJ Coupe and 6th on the mediums. But Alga crossed the line into P6 shifts. MJ Coupe down into P7 with a 28.2. So that's a pretty good lap time, 28.2. That's pretty solid. That is pretty solid, but Alga does get in the way of Tony on Tony's lap. So let's go towards Rick, who is on a lap, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is on a lap. In that pink Force India. Down towards turn 13. Really well in the exit, I would say. Really confident as well. Down towards turn 14 and 15. Crosses the line. And puts himself into P4 with a 27.1. So the top 4 are separated by just over 2/10. That's how close this is. Anyone can get pole position here, as we have Betrayer on his qualifying lap as well. And Tony is about to start his lap as well, as he is through turn 13 now. But we'll stay on board with Betrayer, who is in towards turn 8 now, making his way in towards 9 and 10 sequence. Double left-handers. That was perfect. That was actually perfect from Betrayer. Well, fair play to him. Fair play. But I'll stay silent so we can see the rest of the lap from the Red Bull driver. Now for the final few corners, Betrayer is down the main straight, open in DRS. Can he put on the provisional pole position? Yes, he can, with 26.8. And that, this time will still decrease, as we have over 3 minutes of the session. That time can still go down, as I have Tony on his lap now. What can he do? What can he respond with? He's literally on the limit of a 10th, separating him from provisional pole position to shared Betrayer of the top step. What can Tony do? Open the DRS down towards the final line. And hold on, Was that invalid? Was that an invalid lap? Yes, it was, but it was a 26.9. But it wasn't that much of an improvement, actually. It was just 4 hundredths of a second. As so, I just seen that with a corner of my eye. He did lose the car, and that will be a border lap time for him. He will be aboard in that one. Let's see what Betrayer's up to. He is most likely to be going for one more lap. He's just waiting for that moment. In the meantime, we have Ferrari LFC for the final corner, down towards the finish line. What can he do? I'm not sure he improved. I'm not sure he did. In the meantime, we have Hülkenberg making his way into P7. Pretty good lap time from him, 27.9. Benjamin is on his lap on super soft tires. And then we have MG Coupe, Jamie, Nick and George, who all set their lap times on mediums, now on soft tires. They were the only ones to set a time on mediums, now they're on softs. But let's see what Benjamin does. Opens the DRS up to the line. I'm not sure what that was. I'll say that straight away, I don't know what that was. Let's try and board with Nick as he is on his flying lap through turn 11 and 12, making his way into turn 13, splitting his, finishing sector 2, starting his way in sector 3. 2 long straights and 2 corners is all Nick has left from this lap, and he will have time for one more. Nick Thompson opened the DRS. What can he do? It's P5 for Nick Thompson, 27.6. What a lap! Jamie Red pulls into the pits. We have MG Coupe, who goes wide at the exit of turn 12. That might be an invalid lap time from MG Coupe, and yes, it does seem like it. Dice is qualifying over, but we still have George Snipes 24 on his lap. He did set a lap before that, but it wasn't valid, and now he is going for one more lap as the qualifying time is completed and drivers have to finish their laps. Ferrari LFC finishes his qualifying. Alga, Betrayer and Jamie Met all finish their qualifying session. That is it for NG Coupe as well, but we still have George Snipes 24, Tony with a 26.7 puts in a pole position as he comes across the line to finish his qualifying. But these super softs are now really worn. He did 3 quick laps on them. That will not be really good for the start of his race. Betrayer will have the tire wear advantage over the Toro Rosso driver, but here we go. Maybe tell him a 26.5. This is mad. George Snipes 24. What can he do? It's only P11 for him. He did not get the result he really wanted. But now we have Nick Thompson being the only man left in this qualifying session. Hülkenberg puts in a P5 place on soft. 3 laps. 3 quick laps has been done on them. What can Nick do? I'm pretty sure that is a board lap time. I think it's a board lap time, and yes, it says Nick will be starting from P6 at the Bahrain Grand Prix. What qualifying session that was. Woo! Whew. I must say, that was amazing. That was phenomenal. So here we go, we have Waving-Tell taking the pole position with a lap time of 1:26.553. Tony will be starting alongside him in the Toro Rosso Honda with a 26.786, being 2/10 slower than the pole position man. Rick VR and Betrayer will be starting on the second row of the grid with super soft. Hülkenberg and Nick Thompson will be starting on the third row, making the first 2 places to start on softs. Jamie and Ferrari LFC starting on softs as well, being P7 and P8. Benjamin starts in P9, and I'll get 85. Rounds up the top 10. George Snipes, Jamie Met, and MJ Coop will all have the free tire choice for the start of this race. Once again, good evening everyone. We're here for the Bahrain Grand Prix in the Invictus Racing League Formula 2 as we have the formation lap on our hands, with Raventel leading the way, Tony Y alongside him, Rick VR and Betrayer behind the first row, Hulkenberger and Nick Thompson on being the top soft runners, with Hulkenberger leading the way with Nick Thompson behind him. Jamie and Ferrari LFC will be P7 and P8. Benjamin now get 85 rounds up the top 10, with George Snipes, JM and MG Coop all having free tire strategy. And let's see, as someone already knocked a board out, well done to them. Let's see what tires everyone is on. Yep, the top 10 have remained on their tires, but George Snipes and JM will be starting on the mediums and doing a one-stop strategy of potentially taking these tires about 15 to 17 laps and going soft until the very end of the race. MG Coop will be starting on softs and doing vice versa strategy, taking the softs, or at least trying to take the softs 13 laps, going on to mediums until the very end of the race. Let's go to the leaders, as we do have we are just moments away from the start of this race for 29 laps of Sakir International Circuit in Bahrain. Nick Thompson has been disqualified from the formation lap. Wonder what happened there, to be honest. His tires will be colder than everyone else's now, as he doesn't get to finish the formation lap, and the cars are only just finishing their formation lap, as Wavensell will be the first man on the grid. So here we have the final few cars lining on the grid, as we have, can I get a bar camera? Yep, here we go. It's 5 red lights here in Bahrain, 29 laps ahead of us. Lights out and away we go. Wavensell with a great start. There is a Haas with an even better start than Nick Thompson. That's Ferrari LFC, who's already jumping 2 cars. And we have a force off the track. That looks like Rick VR as only trying to make his way past Wavensell, but doesn't he seem to get it just yet. But he does tuck in the slipstream of Wavensell. Let's see how he does. He lies alongside him down the inside in towards turn 4. But Wave does hold his ground. Betrayer now is getting closer, as Rick had a horrible start. He's now down in P12. A horrible start for the Force India driver. Hülkenberg with a good start, making himself into P4, Jamie in P5. Ferrari LFC right behind Jamie as they do get quite close, nearly making some contact. Nick Thompson had a bit of a poor start here at the Bahrain Grand Prix, as now Jamie and Ferrari are battling. Can actually Nick Thompson capitalize at least on one of the drivers? Ferrari and Nick are going side by side, and MG Coupe is trying to get involved in the party as well. Oh, and there's Alga hitting the back of Nick Thompson's car. I saw a bit of carbon fiber flying off of that Zauber, as Alga will definitely have some front wing damage now. Nick Thompson is trying to defend off from MJ Coupe. Down towards 14 and 15. Down onto the main straight, we have Waventel leading the way, as MJ Coupe is now trying to catch up to Nick Thompson. He's right on his tail. Can MJ Coupe find a way past the Ferrari driver? No, he can't, but he gets extremely close to the rear tire of Nick Thompson. As their battle will continue on with Benjamin attacking on the MJ Coupe down towards turn 4. He does not make it stick, and MJ Coupe remains in P8. Let's go back up to the front. Oh, hold on. Well, I have something here as Benjamin is getting close. Nick Thompson getting quite close as well to the car ahead, as Alga does start to draw back a bit from Benjamin. It's 0.3 of a second now, as Waventel will be is close to be starting lap 3. DRS will be enabled, but will not be enabled until the second DRS zone after turn 10 on this lap. Waventel sets in the fast lap of the race with 1 minute 31.227. Now let's see. DRS has been enabled by the race control, but drivers can't use it just yet. They have to wait a bit longer, as George Snipes has been in the pits. So something happened to the Haas driver, as he is now 25.5 seconds behind P12. The closest pair on track is in fact MG Coupe and Benjamin for P8. But Betrayer is not falling back from Tony, as the gap just stays there within 0.7 of a second. 6-7 is what it says. Nick Thompson is now going to be trying to get even closer to Ferrari LFC. DRS is enabled for the Ferrari driver, but can he find a way past? He stays behind just now, and he'll be waiting for the longest DRS zone of the track, as Jamie is past Hülkenberg. Not entirely sure what happened there. Hülkenberg might have lost the car a tiny bit, had to save it, and that led to Jamie ahead of him. That's one of my guesses, but now Hülkenberg will have the DRS on his teammate. And we have Nick Thompson. Oh, let's go back to Betrayer. He has DRS on Tony, but Tony is using the ERS to his advantage. Hülkenberg now up the inside of Jamie for P4. Hülkenberg will clear the apex at turn 1 and will get a position. As now Jamie is on the threat from Ferrari LFC, and Nick Thompson is storming into the battle, as now Nick and Ferrari LFC are side by side, but Nick does hold back, and he will be trying for a better opportunity. Here we go, better run from Nick around the outside of turn 8. Is it possible for the Ferrari driver? It looks like it will be. Inside for turn 9 and inside for turn 10. Nick Thompson on the inside of both corners and gets the move done. Beautiful move from Nick Thompson. That is absolutely beautiful. That cannot go any better for Nick Thompson. Beautiful overtake, as now Benjamin is passing MG Coupe, and round the outside of turn 11, take a bow, Benjamin. That's a stunner of a move as well. Two beautiful moves within the space of two corners from two different drivers. That is what we love seeing in Formula 1. That is what we love seeing in the sport. As Betrayer now closes up to Tony. So we now have the lead for P2 as well, as Raven Tell is starting to pull away slowly, but surely. Betrayer is closing in. Will he go for the inside launch? No, he doesn't. Let's go down to Benjamin, as he does get past Ferrari LFC, but Ferrari LFC will try and hold around the outside, making it for the inside of turn 2, and he does hold a beautiful defending from the Haas driver. Oops. As Betrayer now is within 3/10 as MG Coupe now gets past Benjamin. Update that was inside of turn 4. As that group is really close together, really, for P7, as now Benjamin will try and go up the inside. And look at this, MG Coupe will have the inside to defend himself with, and Benjamin just lets him go. He will try and get on the DRS by using battery as well, who has more barrel. We'll just check in a few moments, but Benjamin did use standard ERS mode, meaning that yep, MG Coupe does have more the battery, but a bit of contact there. MG Coupe does get pushed wide by that little nudge, and Benjamin does get P8, but a bit of a questionable move in my opinion, as there was a slight touch from the Force India driver on the Red Bull cars. We just missed the Betrayer. Oh no, that's Tony in the pit. Tony pulls into the pit on lap 6. So Tony definitely soft tires go on the Russo car, as MG Coupe holds it from Benjamin. Well, Ryan board, but I'll get onto the battle with other guys as well, in case they do get close together. But Benjamin is the closest driver to someone else, and Alga has pulled into the pit as well. But remember, Alga does require a front wing change after incident, after contact on lap 1, if I will remind you. Benjamin, in the meantime, does not open the DRS. Oh, now he does. A bit late, but you know. So we should see Revental and Betrayer pitting in a few laps time, as Tony has already been in the pits. And let's try and board with this battle, which is pretty much a battle for P3 in all fairness. And Nick Thompson is really closing up to Hülkenberg, shows himself in the mirrors, but does not go for any launches, as that would really not be a smart thing to do, especially from being near enough 4/10 back. And he fought better with it and stays behind, but now he really close up to Hülkenberg. Hülkenberg must be really struggling with the tires just now, as Nick Thompson is not even using the battery at this point. He's not using the battery. He does realize that he's behind the as he's behind the Renault driver. He doesn't need to use the battery as much. He would rather save it and just use it down the straights when he does need it. Smart decision from Nick Thompson. Is the battery gonna come into use here? On standard, but it does come in use, but he's too far back to try anything so far on Hülkenberg, and he will be waiting a little bit longer, as Wintel now has 3.3 second gap. Oh, and that is Nick round, and that is a DNF. That is an unfortunate DNF from Nick Thompson, and MG Coupe has done the exact same. We can see MG Coupe just there. Oh my goodness me, 2 drivers out. in identical crashes. When have we seen that in Formula 1? So unfortunate for both drivers. That must be a shock for both Nick and MJ. Fortunately for Nick, as he was really close to Hülkenberg, but for MJ especially, as he did the exact same as Nick did, just a few moments right before. What can I say? That is racing for you guys. Wow. I did think I seen someone going off after Nick, but I wasn't sure, and then I seen a car of MJ being retired, and I knew that I was right by seeing someone did going off as well. Wow. What a turn of events here in Invictus Racing League Formula 2. Let's in the meantime go on board with Wave and Tell, as we've not really looked at the leaders that much in this race, as they kind of been in a world of their own, really. But something actually. Hülkenberg is only 3.5 seconds behind Wave and Tell. And Wave, in the meantime, continues on. Betrayer does pull into the pit, so he will be going for an undercut. Hülkenberg is promoted into P2, Jamie into P3. Really solid points here for Renault in this race so far. P2 and P3. Unfortunately for Nick, as Wave is leading this race and their teammates, so that is really unfortunate. But Jamie May is up into P5 on self medium tires. Let's say where Betrayer is just now. Tony will get past both of them. Can we actually, like, please? Okay, here we go. Betrayer is on track, and now he is on self mediums, so he has 21 laps to hold those medium tires. That's quite a big push, I would say, for mediums, but it's possible. It is possible, but you really do need to conserve the tires, and it is a challenge. It is a challenge to do, but no one says it's impossible. It's been done before, so it'll be interesting to see how he does. As Jamie and Hülkenberg are really close together. And here goes Waving Tell is in the pits, as George Snipes picks up a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings, and Waving Tell lap 10 dies with the self medium tires. So a lap after Betrayer. Let's actually compare where Betrayer is. Will Wave come out ahead of him? And do you know something? I'm pretty sure he will. Yep, here he comes, and we can see Betrayer just there as well. And he has Wave and Tell in his sights. So Tony picks up a 3-second penalty. That would be crucial, as Tony is one of race contenders to win this race, and he picks up himself a penalty, as Ferrari LFC is now crashing out rapidly to Betrayer in the Red Bull. As we have Jamie and Hülkenberg being quite close together. Less than a second separates the two of them. So I might say a battle between two Renaults here on lap 10 going on to lap 11. As we can't forget about Ferrari being extraordinarily close to Betrayer, as I was saying. Nothing will happen just yet between Ferrari, Betrayer and Wave, so let's just stay on board here for the battle for the lead of this race. Betrayer is getting close, but nothing will happen here. Wave is defending, he moves away from the slipstream. As Ferrari left see near now breaks himself, and we will have Betrayer attacking Wave. He pulls out the slipstream. Betrayer does not follow into the slipstream to get himself speed advantage, and that might cost him. But on the braking, can he get around the outside? No, he can't. Betrayer stays behind Wave for just now. Down towards turn 4. Wave defends the inside line, and I don't see anything happening here yet. Betrayer remains behind. Oh, something happened to George. Has there been contact between George and Nalga? I'm not entirely sure. I would guess that's what could have happened. But we do have our LFC being less than 3 times behind of Betrayer, as the gap now increased to near enough 5/10. But we are following the battle for the lead of the race, as we're now coming on to lap 12 as Hülkenberg pulled into the pits. Jimmy is staying out, taking the lead of the race, but Hülkenberg is going to get an undercut with fresher tires, and here we go. Ferrari LFC is now getting out of the slipstream and down the inside of Betrayer. Ferrari LFC gets the move done and dusted, and that is no harm for any of the drivers. Ferrari LFC moves himself up into P7. Here's Hülkenberg just coming out of the pits. He's actually going to be rejoining behind Betrayer, which is quite impressive. In my actual opinion. So yeah, that's pretty interesting to see, as we do have Jamie and Tony going 3-4 just now. But I would like to remind you that Jamie is yet to make his first pit stop, and Tony will have one more pit stop to go in this race, as Ferrari LFC is now closing into Vaventel, provisional race leader of the Bahrain Grand Prix. And Tony is past his teammate. Maybe team orders there, and oh, there's been a few boards knocked off the road. Wonder if that's anything to do with that pass from Tony. As Ferrari LFC goes extremely wide, but Wave moves out from the slipstream, and something bad for Ferrari LFC. He does not have any ERS. He does not have much barring compared to Wave, sorry, but does use the DRS and the barring to an extent. Will it be enough though? Will it be enough to get him past? He does get the move done on the inside. And yeah, that's an overtake for P3 for Ferrari LFC, but in all fairness, Wave doesn't need to really worry about that overtake just now, but he's trying to counter-attack him straight away. Down towards turn 4, up the inside, and Wave gets a counter. So fair play to Wave. But if I was Wave just now, I wouldn't even bother really to battle Ferrari, as he is on the super softs. So it's not really that much of a bother. But we do have a battle further down the grid between Jamie, Hülkenberg, Benjamin and Rick. So that's an interesting group. Two Renaults and two Force Indias getting involved. We do have Ferrari closing up to Vaventel as well. Really close to the rear of the Ferrari driver. Nearly making contact. Nearly just escapes it, but up the inside that will be in towards the final corner. Can he get the overtake? No. Wave places his car absolutely phenomenally to keep the position, and that will be flicking to the bow for P6 just after we see what happens here. The half goes up to JMA, and look at this, Hülkenberg is now going to go up the inside of his Renault teammate to get a position for P6. Benjamin is trying an overtake on Jamie, but will not look to get, but maybe on the switchback. Way better run for the Force India driver. Oh, and some contact has been made, but ooh, really close that was. We do have a really tight group up ahead, and here, and in all fairness, if Hülkenberg does close in, we do have Wave and Tail getting past Jamie and Ben, but Jamie is on old mediums now. And they're probably falling off the cliff, as now Ferrari LFC is going past. Betrayer is now attacking him. Up the inside in towards the final corner, and Jamie will have less grip on his tires compared to the brand new soft, medium, sorry. And Betrayer is probably into P4. Hülkenberg is not too far behind either. But we do have Ferrari LFC trying to make a pass on Wave and Tell round the outside of the first corner, but does not seem to get. And that is. And we have a battle behind us. Jamie and Benjamin are battling out, and Benjamin gets top of Jamie, and that is P7 for the Force India driver, but Jamie will fake a move on the inside in towards turn 4 and will not get it. I'm back, and we do have Wave, Ferrari and Trayer battling up for P2, as Tony is in the lead of the race, but he is yet to pit. Jamie picks up a 3-second time penalty. That does not do him any good in this race, as tires for Jamie are absolutely falling off the cliff. 14 laps they have holded so far, nearly making that 15 now, so I'm predicting him to pit about lap 16-17. That's my predictions, and here we go. Tony is already in the pits. Is he going for mediums? That would be my guess, because going for mediums, but we do have Ferrari in the meantime trying once again round out of turn 1 on Wave and Tell, and he does not get. Wave remains ahead, as Jamie and Benjamin are having a ding-dong battle here, as Jamie is going to stay behind now, so Benjamin could ease off a tiny bit, as he does pretty much have P6 now in the bag at this point of the race. Rick in the meantime is yet to pit. We do have Hülkenberg, who closed up to Jamie Met. Jamie Met's tires are off the cliff, but fair play to him making them 15 laps, but they are really slowing down now compared to fresh mediums. Hülkenberg does have to be careful with timing of his move as well, not to make any collision with Jamie Met, because he will be aware that Jamie's tires are a lot older now and way slower than Hülkenberg's. We do have Trainer now stepping up his game and trying to make a move on Ferrari LFC for P2 dies, but will not get. I would imagine no, he does not go into the pits. He stays out, and now Betrayer will be punishing him for staying out, as Betrayer now makes a move on Ferrari LFC, as we're now heading right straight to Hülkenberg Jamie Met, as Hülkenberg is getting the move done. Yes, he does. But Ferrari LFC has fought back and pushed Betrayer back into P3 of the race, as there's waved yellow flags in sector 1. Not entirely sure who that was for. Oh, maybe that was Rick actually. Rick has dropped back by quite a significant gap now actually. So maybe he did lose the back end. as JMA is going off the cliff now. Look at this. Jamie Jamie just does not. He doesn't even have any bother. He just goes around the outside like no man's land. Really, Hulkenberger makes a mistake though. Will that allow Benjamin to have an attack on him? But due to that mistake, Hulkenberg did have a better run out of turn 10 to create a bit of a gap. He did have a better exit, but not the entrance. Did let Benjamin close in, but on the exit he did get top of him. Let's see. Well, will Ferrari pit the slap? His super softs are 8 laps old now. Like, come on. Yes, he does. Betrayer's into P2. Hulkenberger will be promoted to P3. Benjamin is right behind him as well. And JMA is now in the pit as well. As Benjamin and Hulkenberger battle now. Benjamin around the outside, Hulkenberger on the inside, and it looks like that the Force India driver gets onto the podium positions in this race. Tunis has the fast lap of the race at 30.3 on themselves, fresh softs that are 2 laps old now. And this, so far in this race, we do have 3 DNS. That's George Snipson for Nick Thompson and MJ Coop, who unfortunately left early in to the pits. Quite unfortunate with that, but we still have the battle for P3. But the gap is kind of increasing in all fairness. Benjamin is creating a bit of a gap. He has more ERS by about 10% in the battery charge than his rival Hulkenberger, and Jamie Met has most battery of all 3 of them. He has over 60% of the charge to play with, near enough 70 now. I would imagine... No, he does not put the ERS mode up. That's pretty interesting, because you do want to use quite a significant amount of ERS, especially if you have above 40% down that main straight and on the way from turn 2 to turn 4, because these straights can really gain you quite a lot of time, about 3/10, especially with medium tires. That's what you really want. And Jamie did have the opportunity to use his battery. He has more than 70%, so he had the perfect opportunity to use the battery to close in, but he did not decide to do it. So that's an interesting strategy from him. He is using medium ERS mode just now, building up the battery. Now it's on 80%, and yeah, he has way more battery than anyone in this group. But do you know something? There's waved yellows in sector 2. That's Tony. Something happened to Tony. I would imagine he lost the car in the curbing at the exit of turn 7. That would be my guess. Obviously we won't know just now, but that's what I'm gonna say. He lost it, and sector 2-3 yellow flags. That's Rick. Rick has lost again. That lets Ferrari LFC close in the gap. So Rick really struggling with this tires. He's probably trying to make them to super softs. Try and make them as far to go into the super soft compound, as we do have the bow here. And that should be an easy move for Ferrari LFC even before the braking zone for turn 1. And yes, that is the case. Jamie Met attacking his own teammate for P8 in the race. Can Jamie Met get it? He's too far back, brakes really early. I don't think he expected to brake directly himself, in all fairness. That did catch him out by a surprise, in all fairness. Maybe he was a bit scared. But Ferrari actually gets a 3-second time penalty, but I can't remember if Rick has 1, 2 or not. But we do have 10 laps remaining of this Grand Prix, as Tell is leading this race with Betrayer in P2, Benjamin in P3, Hulkenberger and Jeremy. No, sorry, just Jamie in P4 and P5, double Renault. Points finish actually, both drivers in top 5, that will give them great amount of points going back to the factory into the constructors tally at the end of the race. And the gap now between Benjamin and Hulkenberger is less than 7/10. Less than 6/10 down to turn 1. Can Hulkenberger get any closer? It doesn't seem like it. He just can't do anything against the one lap younger mediums of the Force India driver, as I did see Ferrari LFC, sorry, setting the fast lap of the race with a 29.7, I believe that was. Hulkenberg is trying his best to catch up to Benjamin. I really do want to check the penalty, but I'm not going to. Hulkenberger is close in. Jamie is falling back a bit. Jamie has a lot of PRS, he can use that Bahrain, but look at this, Hulkenberger is absolutely storming to get past the Force India driver, and it looks like he will get just ahead. Hulkenberger, can he gets pushed on the curb, and Benjamin is fighting back, but Hulkenberger will have the inside for turn 4. And still around the outside, Benjamin does try it, and here we go. Hulkenberger, after so many laps, he finally gets the move done. That took him a long time. But he finally has been rewarded. And you know something? Hulkenberger has same amount of charge as Benjamin, so maybe Hulkenberger was saving the battery, as Benjamin is not using the battery at this point. But I just don't get what's Jamie's plan with ERS. He can really use the ERS down the 3 straights that are pretty much right after each other. There's literally just 2 corners separating the all straights from each other. He can use higher ERS mode to get closer to cars ahead and just attack them, but he does not use the idea. Hulkenberger moves out of the slipstream, Benjamin tucks in, Jamie tucks in. Jamie Matt has retired, but look, here we go. In the meantime, Benjamin is trying to get past, but look at this, Jamie will have, oh, he got the grip, but he didn't push Benjamin a bit wide, and oh my goodness me, they make contact and nearly have a huge collision, as Jamie is up into P4, Benjamin's down in P5, but in my opinion Benjamin should get the position back, as Jamie did push him wide at the exit of turn 2, in my opinion at least. Rick VR in the meantime is getting past Alga, but Alga really trying to defend, but Rick on the switchback on those super soft tires should be an easy way for Rick, and yes it is. Rick is up into P8, and that will be a position for Rick VR, as double Renault is now 3rd and 4th, as Tell is leading by 2.7 seconds, and the gap is just increasing. And here we go, Jamie is now using the ERS, he's using the battery. He used quite a lot of it actually, he used about 40% of his charge he had in the car. He did close up, he pulled away from Benjamin. But how beneficial that was? The question is how beneficial that really was for Jamie. As we do have 9 drivers remaining in this race, as Jamie has DNF as well, and fast lap from Rick with 29.8 for 1 on super soft tires. So maybe I was wrong with Ferrari LFC's fastest lap. Maybe it was 29.9. Jimmy does have a significantly a lot more charge than his teammate does. And he can use the battery really to help himself with DRS being used. And I do think they're closing up to the cars ahead as well. Jimmy is closing up to his teammate but will stay behind as we have 5 laps of this race remaining. 5 laps to go. And I'm pretty sure Hulkenberg has no penalties while Jimmy has 2 penalties if I remember correctly. He doesn't have 1, I'm not sure about 2 though. DRS is in use for Jimmy. He gets even closer to his teammate now, but he just doesn't have anything to fight with, as, oh my goodness me, Hulkenberg used all his ERS. Hulkenberg used all his ERS, and it's not looking good for him. He will have nothing to defend himself with against flying Jamie, who has more than 50%. When Hulkenberg has less than 15. So in all fairness, this should be an easy move for Jamie. Here we go down towards turn 1, DRS used. And yes, it says Jamie has been promoted to P3. But in all fairness, Hulkenberg just has to stay within 3 seconds and not get a penalty for the next 4 laps. Betrayer is now closing up as well. Betrayer is closing up to Wave and Tell. So Betrayer comes alive at the very end of the race. So we are 29.2 as the fastest lap. .7 between Wave and Betrayer. Let's see how much he will be closing up. As biggest positions gained in this race is from Jamie and Benjamin picked up 4 positions each, and most losses Rick VR and Tony, who lost 5 positions each. Not including Nick because he has DNF'd. .8 seconds separating the top 5 in this race. And yeah, Betrayer scores up. Betrayer is really pushing it. He does want to try and get a position, but he doesn't know about Jamie's penalty. Benjamin scores up as well. Jimmy keeps making mistakes as well, which will let Betrayer close up, but the question is how well can Betrayer take advantage of these mistakes. "18 laps have been on Betrayer's mediums. 18 laps he has driven them for. That is mental. Fair play to Betrayer. I'll be really surprised if he gets into the end. I'll be really surprised. And now look at this, Benjamin has closed up to Hulkenberger. As the ERS has been recharged for all drivers here. Betrayer has now fallen back by 2.2 seconds from Waving Tail. Unless anything happens in the next 2 laps, Wave should have this race in the bag now. Unless anything happens. But look at this, Benjamin's now trying to get past Hulkenberger. Lap 28 out of 29, 1.5 laps to go. 1 lap and 2 seconds, sorry, remain in this race. Just wide open for Betrayer and for Benjamin. Benjamin shows himself in the mirrors of the Renault. As now Betrayer is starting to fall back. His tires definitely fell off the cliff now. But there's only 1 lap to go. Come on Betrayer, you can hold this. If you hold this, you're an absolute legend. And now Benjamin is really close to Hulkenberger. Does Hulkenberger have DRS? Yes, he does. That could save him. Ooh. This is going to be extremely shaky last lap for Hulkenberger, Jamie and Betrayer in my opinion. Especially Betrayer, 20 laps on mediums. He must be at the danger zone of getting a puncture here on the last lap of the race. You can see him really considering his tires. He wants to make sure he gets the car home in one piece to finish on the podium here in Bahrain. But Jamie has rapidly closed up as well. So we might say an epic finish here to the Bahrain Grand Prix. The question is, will we? In the meantime, Waving Tail is... Hold a second. Hold on a second. Benjamin, no, he doesn't go for it. Had the opportunity, he was close enough in my opinion to try that move. But Waving Tail across the final corner will get the win here in Bahrain. Congratulations to him, dominant race win. Betrayer will survive, finishing second, Jamie in P3, Hulkenberger getting promoted to P4, Benjamin promoted to Hulkenberger promoted to P3, Benjamin promoted to P4, Jamie demoted to P5 after his penalty. Ferrari LFC will finish in P6, Tony across the final corner will be finishing this race in a disappointing P7. Rick VR will be disappointed as well, finishing P8 after starting P3 on the grid. And Alga is going to come across the line to finish in P9. Here we go. Evans across the line. and we can relax. Here at the podium, finishers celebrating with champagne ceremony. Ferrari will be real happy to take Bahrain trophy home to the factory in Italy. But here we go. So the official race classifications are on your screens. Wavell winning the race with a dominating performance. Started first, making a once of work, finishing in P1. 2 seconds behind its betrayer, making those mediums last 20 laps. How on earth did he get those tires 20 laps is beyond me, but fair play to betrayer. Hulkenberger finishing P3, runs on the podium. Benjamin finishing P4, Jamie getting demoted from P3 after his 3-second time penalty, finishing P5. Ferrari LFC finishes in P6. Tony and Rick really disappointed in races after starting second and third, finishing only in P7 and P8. And Alga will be the last finisher in today's race, finishing in P9. And we have Jamie Met, George Snipes, Nick Thompson and MJ Coop all not finishing in today's race. And I guess that'll be it for today, guys. Whew. That'll be it for today's race. I would like to say a massive thank you to Formula 2 Elements for letting me join in the commentary booth today. And I've been Mr. Stim, and I will see you sometime soon. Have a good night, everyone, and goodbye. Goodbye, everyone.